How's it going, everybody? Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Sunday, 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. And it's Tuesday here on the show. I don't feel great. My daughter got me sick. Sick as a dog. Didn't sleep at all last night. My throat hurts. I can barely speak, which is really nothing new. But, thankfully we got Lance here on the show today. And I'm glad he's here because we actually have a lot of TNA news that we can talk about, which means that, he can talk and then I don't have to. I may actually have to go get drugs right after this segment here. We'll see. But we'll talk about all of the TNA news, including a new addition for the TNA Slamversary main event, which I think we all saw coming, but it's official now. We've got the Raw report from last night, which was the fallout from Night of Champions, and they also taped Smackdown, but we won't be doing Smackdown stories, Smackdown spoilers here today. If you want those, last night's Observer Radio is a show for you. And that is Friday. It is the first of multiple 2-hour shows. The days of 3-hour shows are done. Thank the Lord. So, but that was taped, and we got a lot of stuff for Evolution, including there's a poster out, and I don't know. It looked like a normal poster to me, but a lot of people saw the Evolution poster, and they were like, "What is that?" And they thought it was fake. But turns out it is actually the real poster. So we're going to tell you who's on the poster, what, if anything, this means, and plenty more. If you want to text us here today, please help me out today. 425-780-7566. That is 425-780-7566. F4WOnline@gmail.com. F4W Online Threads, Instagram, and Cameo at Bryan Alvarez, X, and Blue Sky. Back in a moment. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Okay, can everyone hear it?
Yeah.
There's a mystery bell at Granny's house. She can't hear it. Take off your headphones for a second.
I had them on wrong anyway.
Okay.
I can't get them on right. What?
Take them off and listen.
You have in your elbow?
Is the fan on a computer?
Nothing.
All right. Well, this is going to be an exciting show.
Gonna have bells ringing through the whole thing, and it's every week. It's got to be me.
Do you have a neighbor that's an ice cream man
No,
practicing out there?
I got a neighbor that smokes marijuana.
I'm sure you do. I guess
Whatever that noise is, I mean, it's still going.
Yeah, it's not going to stop, dude.
Brian, do you want me to get off here and go see if open the door and see if there's anything out there?
You think something's out the front door?
Is he been ringing the bell the entire time?
No, Granny, you don't
Let
need
me
to-
in! Let me
it's
in!
It's fine. It's fine.
If it's death, don't open the door.
Thank you, Craig. This person thinks it's a stove timer.
Have you burned the roast?
No, I don't have a stove. You want me to just get off here?
No. We're going to barrel through it.
I'd love it.
You're not even doing anything. Granny, Nick says that you've got an old-fashioned analog alarm clock in Terry's bedroom.
I don't know. I got a new alarm clock. Battery operated. Is that what she meant?
Well, whatever it is, it's going haywire right now.
Oh, it might be my alarm.
Do you think?
But it's way back in the bedroom.
Don't worry about it right now. But when the show's over, you might want to go...
That's what it is.
Okay.
Solve the mystery.
Is there a reason you didn't turn it off when it started ringing?
Well, I wasn't in there. I didn't.
Duh.
I took a nap. I took a nap and set the alarm. I thought I shut it off, but I probably didn't.
No.
You probably didn't.
That's life.
I would say with a good deal of certainty that you didn't turn it off.
Brian, that's life around here.
Yeah, I'm well aware. I do the show with Dave, too.
Say,
Hear all sorts of things in the background.
did I do that? You know,
Yeah, you did do that.
or I thought I did that, but I didn't.
in there.
I wake up and I see lights on, and I say, I didn't turn those lights on. What's going on?
Maybe the place is haunted.
Could be.
Okay.
It's my brain that's haunted.
Well, I hope not. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Back here in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Lance Storm joining us here today. I gargled with some warm water during the break. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna stay away from the drugs as long as I can. How are you doing, Lance?
I'm doing great. Happy Canada Day for anyone listening in Canada.
Oh, it is today, isn't it?
Yes.
I thought it was yesterday for some reason.
No, this is our birthday today, the 1st
Wow.
of July. Mm-hmm.
Golly, happy Canada Day, Lance.
Thanks.
How's your health?
My breathing has taken a turn for the better of late, which is nice.
What happened? You knocked something out?
I have no idea. I went for a walk in Stanley Park along the Elbow River, and my nose just sort of opened up more, and it has maintained an improved state since my walk on Friday, I believe.
What the heck happened?
I don't know. Perhaps it's more moisture in the air and it's a hydration thing. I don't know, but
Maybe you need to get one of those humidifiers.
oh, we have humidifiers. I've got my CPAP, which is hydrated.
Wow.
I do nasal ring. I do all kinds of stuff. But certainly not perfect, but has taken a noticeable improvement, and I'm pretty happy about it. Still have the messed up shoulder I'm waiting to hear about a replacement on.
Yeah, we all have that.
And my knees are probably in need of getting scoped again.
I hear that you're on a walking streak. Is that right?
Yes, my knees.
I'm making it public here, so now you're stuck.
Yes, my right knee still hurts every day, but my range of motion is good, and I got a really great set of compression sleeves for my knees. And since that, I've been doing a minimum of 10,000 steps every day since May 25th. And this past week, I broke 100,000. So I'm
Since
I'm
May
getting
May 25th or June 25th?
May 25th was the day that I hit 10,000. I've hit 10,000 every day since then.
So you're past a month now.
Yes.
Wow. Good job, Lance.
If I can borrow a phrase from Dustin Rhodes, I'm keep stepping.
Well, you know, that is the health advice. Just get up and walk.
I hear that's what you give to your Cameo subscribers. If they
Well,
need,
someone was asking.
motivation.
Here's a problem. Like sometimes with the Cameo is you request the Cameo and then you can provide like a bunch of information. And like most people are good about that. But and now I know why there was very limited information in this Cameo. They didn't tell me anything, so I just had to figure it out on my own. I actually had a Cameo once where I guess they were from Quebec or something, but the guy's wife wanted me to do a Cameo for him, but she wrote the whole Cameo request in French. Okay, now some of you are thinking, well, who cares? You can just run it through. No, for some reason this Cameo app, it doesn't let you copy and paste anything. So, like, I would have had to retype the entire, and I was like, whatever. So I did, and then, because it was in French, they didn't give me any other information, and I couldn't read it, and so I thought they were in France. So you can only imagine this Cameo. But they enjoyed it. I did my best. That's all you can do, Lance, every day. You just wake up and do your best. You know what I'm saying?
Did you at least try to use some French words in your Cameo?
No.
No?
I couldn't even think of one. I didn't want to make a French toast joke or anything stupid like that. I don't like to do stupid cameos, Anyway, Vince McMahon and WWE are looking to block Janelle Grant's team from Discovery. According to Post Wrestling, both defendants on Monday filed opposition to Grant's attempt to obtain new information in the lawsuit, saying the plaintiff has failed to meet the legal standard for pre-arbitration discovery and is also trying to seek unrelated documents relating to the question if Grant signed the NDA under duress. According to McMahon's team, the court should refuse to indulge plaintiff's improper fishing expedition and deny the motion in full. In WWE's filing, they wrote that Grant's request for evidence was an attempt to bypass an earlier decision to hold off on broader discovery. Grant's document requests are a transparent attempt to circumvent the court's stay order and initiate full merits discovery before the court is able to decide defendants' motions to compel arbitration. Grant has failed to present any allegations, let alone, quote, reliable evidence that she did not intend to be bound by the arbitration provision and that the agreement to arbitrate was induced by fraud or duress. So that's the latest. And we still wait for this decision. You know, they had the, I think it was the Ryan Nemeth suit against AEW, and then the Kevin Kelly and the boys. And both of those, AEW requested, they said, well, you know, here were the contracts. This needs to be settled via arbitration. And I think in both cases, the judge ruled it must go to arbitration. And this happened a long time ago. So I realize this could take years, but it just seems like, should it go to arbitration or not? I mean, it said it was supposed to. She claims she signed it under duress. Make a decision. But we're still waiting. So we'll see how long it lasts.
It's a little more complicated when it's not just a labor dispute. And I would like to add, just for my own personal opinion, if there's no fish in the pond, people generally don't complain that people go fishing.
Well, of course. Of course they don't want discovery. I mean, that should be obvious. But that's the latest on that story. So WWE put out a poster for Evolution. This is the women's show taking place July 13th. For those of you, and I don't know how you would not know this, the July 13th weekend, July 11th is a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. And then All In is July 12th at Globe Life Field. And then Great American Bash is also Saturday. And Saturday night's main event, also, in fact, Saturday. And then Evolution is Sunday. And then Raw is Monday. And SmackDown, of course, is Friday as well. So, SmackDown and Ring of Honor, All In, Great American Bash, Saturday night's main event, Evolution. So you're talking 6 shows, just Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 7 if you add in Raw, and I guess there's probably no Collision that weekend would be my guess. They'll air it at a different time. And that's that. So anyway, this poster does show Trish Stratus. So I guess it's kind of a spoiler, but too late. Trish is on SmackDown. We'll just say that because they put her on the poster here. And Nikki Bella also on the poster. And Rhea, Bianca, Becky, Charlotte, Io, Naomi, Tiffany, Alexa, Rodriguez and Perez, Nia, Jade Cargill, Zelina Vega, Alba Fire, Natty, Lyra, Chelsea, Ivy, Bailey, Kyrie, and JC Jade, Jordan Grace, Sol Ruka, and Jada Parker are also all on the poster. So no Asuka. Everyone's up in arms about that. It's very likely this poster was created quite a while ago, and they weren't sure if Asuka was going to be back in time for the show. She just returned like a month ago. And obviously, Liv Morgan, they didn't know she was going to be injured. So that's the poster, and we're going to get more matches coming up here very soon. No Julia or Stephanie at Notes either.
Is it just me, or do these posters always look like they're made with AI? Like, maybe I'm just
I think this one might have
paranoid
been.
about it, but they just look, I don't know, there's just something to them that they don't feel like authentic photos or authentic artwork, and it just feels like AI. And again, just because someone's not on the poster doesn't mean they're not going to be on the show.
Well, when we come back, we got some TNA news to talk about, including the main event of Slamversary, and also there is a match coming up at the AAA Verano de Escandalo show on July 11th, which is an amazing match. So it involves TNA and AAA talent. And we're going to talk about that and all the rest of the news after the break. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Well, we reviewed Smackdown yesterday, Tom, and you don't even get Smackdown. You're very, just, you know how you are.
Fine. Whatever. I don't care. Whatever.
That's your impression of
Yeah,
me?
that's my impression of you.
Wow.
So what are we, at least, I hope you at least watch a Smackdown main event.
I watched the entire show. of
Okay, because there's a
SmackDown.
lot of people that still like your review, Tom.
I went on the board and I saw like 2 people.
Yeah, do you go on,
So-
you go on Twitter?
Yeah, I do go on Twitter.
You read my
actually.
emails?
I do go on
The
Twitter.
text messages? I mean,
Do you go on Twitter? Because if you do,
unfortunately, yes.
you would have seen one of the greatest moments in world history.
In
take
world
place.
history, really.
World history. Frank Tate walked away the victor of the fight, but he walked away an even bigger winner when it comes to life. This man completed what I would say is the best high five, the best dap up in the history of the galaxy. This man had his dog. His dog. And when I say dog,
Barely a dog.
I mean D-O-G and D-A-W-G. This was a dog, baby. The dog was so proud. You can see just the elation in that dog's face. He threw that paw up. He let it hang for a few moments, and then he brought
Tom's
it down
not even
for the dap.
Tom's not even doing this justice. Everyone has seen a dog,
Listen.
like you put your hand out and the dog like puts his paw up to shake hands. This freaking dog goes, ah, hapa! Like, what? That was more than a high five. I don't even know what you would even term that. He dunked. He dunked that man.
30 million views on this clip. And that is about 1/10 of what it should have. So if you haven't seen it, you deserve it. Treat yourself. Go to my Twitter. Watch Frank Tate high five his dog.
No, he did not high five his dog.
The dog high fived
His dog high fived him. Yes. He just wanted like a, just boom. And this dog was like, no way, brother. You knock that man out. I'm going to give you a big time dunking high five from way up high. You go high five, up high, down low, too slow. This was an up high. Guy should have pulled his hand away.
It's the best thing you've ever seen.
Man, too slow, Joe. Yeah, it was pretty good. Not going to lie. I liked it. Back on the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. I broke down and took drugs during the break. A little Tylenol and ibuprofen. I should be feeling great right when this show ends. Perfect timing. Anyway. So yes, Mike Santana has been added to the world title match at Slamversary. It is July 20th. It is a pay-per-view. It is now Trick Williams versus Joe Hendry versus Mike Santana.
At the UBC Arena in New York City.
It is in New York City. And here's the problem, Lance. I shouldn't complain until after it happens, but I don't like this on paper because, to me, this looks like an opportunity for Mike Santana to win the title without pinning Trick. And during this whole WWE TNA thing, it's always been like, well, Obviously, WWE is the larger promotion. Obviously, they're going to, get the majority of everything. But you got to give TNA something. And, they beat Joe Hendry quickly at WrestleMania, and then he lost the title to Trick. And, I thought for a long time that Trick was going to end up losing the title, probably to Santana. But by adding a third person to that match, I don't know, man. I don't know. If Santana wins, he needs to pin Trick. That's what I'm saying, Lance. You tell Tommy, or whoever's in charge of this outfit, you gotta beat the right guy. Got it?
I would think if either Joe or Santana is winning, that would be my vote as well. I've been a long-standing supporter of pin the champion to become champion. Don't pin someone else.
And then we've got this AAA show here. Summer of Scandal. Verano de Escandalo, July 11th on Friday. They are doing a match, which I am not making up. Mr. Iguana and La Hiedra against Santino and Lola Vice. What? What?
The Iguana and the Cobra.
That's right. It is the Iguana and the Cobra. God, at least he'll make some money on merch there. Yeah, they're both on that show. Vikingo and King Vikingo, which is his father, against Alberto El Patron and El Macias is the main event of the show. And we've also got La Parca, Aerostar, and Nino Hamburguesa versus Murder Clown, Dave the Clown, and yes, Paddock Clown. Show sounds awesome.
I'm just thinking of the potential of Lola Vice and Santino dancing and shaking their butts together. That's money.
Yeah. Hey, the guy here that's still arguing about he's muddying up the chat here, talking about benching. I'm not taking the bait, brother. Deal with it. Sorry. All right. The Beast Mortos is headed to Arena Mexico this Friday. He will headline the Arena Mexico show. It will be The Beast and Ultimo Guerrero and Averno against Mascara Dorada, Templario, and Esfinge. And this will be his first Arena Mexico match for CMLL in 15 years. It was originally supposed to be Commander, according to Lucha Blog, but Commander's out of action, and so Mortos is there as a replacement. And Mortos just so happy to be working Arena Mexico. Thrilled. Grew up a huge fan. Man, when I heard Mortos grew up watching Mystico, every now and then someone says something and I realize, good God, I'm as old as dirt. Well, that's one of them. That's one of them. He grew up watching Mystico. God.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Mortos. I worked with him when he was Black Taurus in TNA.
Yes.
And dude is the world's greatest bass. And as a producer in TNA, we're very conscious of avoiding hitting our guardrails because we don't have the big hockey boards that WWE does. And I was producing a match between PCO and Mortos. And PCO was going to do his tope head first through the ropes. And we didn't have a lot of room on the side. And before the show, I'm just like, to Beast Mortos, I'll use his current name. I'm like, please, whatever you do, don't hit the guardrails. And that brother planted his feet and got hit with a running PCO and managed to get hit, fall down, and have PCO land on top of him and not get within a foot of the guardrails. I love Beast Mortos.
I heard a rumor that he is a handsome man. Is that true, Lance?
He's certainly as or more handsome than you, but I don't know if that's the highest bar.
God, he must be the most handsome man in all of wrestling. Fetching, I would go as far as to say. How about that? Well, as everyone's probably well aware, he's dating Mercedes. Put that picture out a couple of weeks ago, which was really funny because, I saw the picture for a full day before I realized that the lady was Mercedes. Because when you first see the picture, he has no mask on. They're doing something somewhere, and so there's a happy face put over his face. So that's of course the first thing you notice. It's okay, well, who's this guy? And then you kind of look at the tattoos and everything, and then it's Mortos. Him and
I'm
his,
surprised.
him and
they
his
didn't-
his lovely lady are having a fun day together. And it wasn't until like 12 hours later I realized, oh my God, that's actually Mercedes. How about that?
I'm surprised they didn't kayfabe the relationship, just because now, if you see Mercedes out with a dude, you're going to know it's Mortos and go, hey, that's what Mortos looks like.
Well, I think that everyone did kayfabe it, except him. Like, couldn't help himself. Who's dating Mercedes? Black Taurus is who? Which was a great name, by the way. I like the Beast Mortos. That's good as well. It's actually, Beast Mortos is one of those names when you think about like the history of Lucha Libre, like all of the different wrestlers from all the different promotions all over, like no one came up with the Beast Mortos until like 2024. The Beast Death?
Is that what Mortos means?
Yeah. Or Death Beast or something like that.
My Spanish is worse than your
Yeah,
French.
my
so.
God. It's like, what a name. Every now and then I hear like a new luchador name, and it floors me that no one ever came up with that until now. Like, come on, people. Get with the story. Anyway. All right, NXT tonight. Your main man, Jasper Troy, Lance, faces Yoshiki Inamura.
Why is he my main man?
Because
you're the one with the
stood up
issue
for
with
his
his name.
dumb name.
It's a good. It's as
No.
good or better name than most of them.
No, if his name were Troy Jasper, that'd be fine. That actually sounds like a human name. But they love doing the names. They love doing backwards names. They just love it. Or, I don't know. It's just everybody knows except you. But anyway, they're facing off. The winner challenges Obafemi. It's a stupid match. It should just be Inamura. But, in storyline, Ava's an idiot. And in real life, Sean just likes to irritate me, I think. Joe Hendry will face Wes Lee. And Lexus King faces Miles Bourne. That's all we know. Really. And then for tomorrow, we got Dynamite 300 and a Collision 100 taping. And we only got 4 things announced. Still. I was actually impressed because they announced a lot of Dynamite 300 stuff last week, like 3 matches. So I thought like by now we'd have a whole card. Nope. We got Okada and Ibushi, which I actually cannot believe they're doing on the show already, but they are. Mercedes against Mina Shirakawa for the TBS title. And a 4-way, everyone's favorite, MJF, Brody King, Anthony Bowens, and AR Fox. And the winner of this is the number 2 entrant in the Casino Gauntlet. And then for Collision 100, FTR faces the Outrunners. Which is all fine and good and everything, but I still don't have a good explanation as to why they didn't do that match last week. Because, Truth Magnum's a local guy. I don't know why they didn't build up the match earlier and then do the match actually in Kent. I can't imagine it's going to get a better reaction 4 hours into the show tomorrow than it would have gotten in Kent. But whatever.
Maybe FTR's winning and they didn't want to beat the local guy in Kent.
Did you watch Wrestle Dream? The whole show was about
No, I
killing
did not.
every last single one. Dude, they killed Swerve, they killed Darby, and they literally ended the career of Bryan Danielson, all in the Seattle market last year at this time. So I don't think that was the main concern, but who knows. All right, when we come back from the break, we are going to be talking this Raw show. Lance, did you watch Raw?
I did. I watched the whole thing. I'm a big fan of the earlier time slot.
I'm not. Hate it. Because...
What difference does it make to you?
I'll tell you what difference it makes. I'll tell you. I watch on Netflix, okay?
Same.
All right? Well, I don't watch it. I'm not going to watch it at 3 o'clock or whatever. So I watch it later, okay? If the show airs in its normal time slot, then the replay, they cut out the commercials.
They cut out the commercials as it
No,
airs
they
live if you watch on delay.
No, they did
do
not.
in Canada.
Well, they don't here. The thing, I figured this out a couple of months ago, and it was confirmed with this show. Anytime they air early, you can't skip the commercials. You can only skip the commercials when they air at their normal time. This is on the iPad. So luckily, I'm a genius of technology. So normally I watch on the iPad and I type on the laptop. But the only way around this is you have to watch on the laptop. You can skip on the laptop, but not the iPad. So I had to I'd switch the two windows. So I was typing on the iPad, but watching on the computer. I got it done, but it's irritating. I don't like being irritated when I'm ill. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Check out this free video, and make sure you hit like and subscribe.
If Truth didn't have the best weekend in this company, then Mr. Iguana did.
Oh, yeah, this guy is over, dude.
We'll get to him in the Worlds Collide review, but
He's got merch up on WWE shop.
he's going to make so much
He's got these
money.
kids that want to see more Mr. Iguana.
Yeah. So
His face paint is so funny.
I must stop you right here. It's not face
Oh,
paint.
would you stop?
It's head paint.
Yeah, it looks.
He paints his whole damn head.
It looks like he's gets held upside down and they just dunk his head in green paint.
Yes.
It's absolutely bizarre.
And when he's not wrestling, he wears the round silver spectacles.
Yes.
And
He
flicks
a
his
puppet.
tongue constantly.
Yes.
As an iguana would. And Del Toro and Octagon do whatever, and people are patient, but they don't care. And then Iguana tags in, and they are hyped. It took about 7 seconds to make himself my favorite luchador. He starts, I forget who he's in there with, but the guy offers a handshake, and so he licks it because he's an iguana, and then he gets hit with a shoulder tackle, or it's a chop. He takes a chop, he drops to his back, and sticks all four limbs straight in the air.
Yes.
He's playing dead like an iguana would. So then he brings in the puppet. I didn't get the puppet's name. I should have used it 50 times. But it's an iguana puppet that he thinks is real. Well,
Already up on WWE shop.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You know if Harley Cameron's doll is on the AEW?
I do not know.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
So he starts doing spots with the puppet in his mouth. He lets the puppet try to get the pin. And amidst all the silliness, Conan says, you know this Mr. Iguana, he's most popular with children.
I liked how as soon as the puppet started doing spots, Corey Graves goes, is that legal in Mexico? And without skipping a beat, Conan goes, yes.
Low on the list of things you will see in a Lucha Libre match, especially in AAA. So he starts using the puppet more as a weapon, or as a distraction, I should say. But it ends up with Lindsay Dorado getting a hold of this puppet, and he snaps, and he stomps the puppet, and he grabs the puppet, and he Spanish flies the puppet. This crowd is outraged. They're pissed. They're furious. But you know he's even more pissed and furious?
It got more heat than anything else. Maybe on the entire show,
Mr.
actually.
Goddamn Iguana.
They were
who's
furious.
Seething, and his eyes are breaking out, and he snaps and just rips ass. He grabs his own lizard and is whipping these guys with it. And then they remember it's just a puppet, and they stop selling.
This was a very, very fun match. I liked it a lot. And there's a lot to learn here about marketing.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting emails and texts about it. Guys, Hikuleo wasn't benched.
Let it go, Brian.
This guy says, your Hikuleo analogy was way off. I'm sorry. If an MLB or NFL team signs a guy or trades for a guy from another team and the coaches don't play the guy at all for like the first month or even year, for whatever reason, they're benched. Dude, this isn't a real sport, okay? I used a sports analogy. What benching means in actual sports, okay? But wrestling isn't a sport. So this fella here and this dude on the chat that just won't give up, let me ask you a question. If you're watching a 3-hour film, okay, and a character doesn't appear in the film until the final 30 minutes, because that's what the story necessitates, are you going to sit here and tell me the guy was benched for the first hour and a half of the film? If there's a 3-film series based on some novel or book or whatever, and some fella doesn't appear until the 3rd movie because that's when the story necessitates his appearance. Are you going to say the actor was benched for the first 2 movies? Because if you are, you have no idea what you're talking about, okay? They didn't want to bring in this giant fella and just have him do rando matches on TV until it was time to put him in the bloodline. They clearly didn't even want to have him do rando matches on NXT. They signed him. They waited until it was time, and then they debuted him. That is not benching somebody. Will you stop?
Stop arguing with people.
Jiminy Christmas.
They won't be convinced. They want to argue. Ignore them.
No, they think they know what they're talking about, but they don't. I can't have that.
Ignore them.
I can't have it, Lance. Now, this Raw show, what are they going to sit here and tell me there were 9 matches on the show? Well, there weren't. This was I thought this was a good show. Crowd was dead during the second hour, but they came to life for that main event. They did like that main event. And overall, I thought good show, building up stuff, no run-ins, which actually was almost funny.
Whatsoever.
No, it was almost funny because, let's just talk about it.
Well, I guess it was run-ins and interference in the promos.
As Trick would say, let's talk about it. So the first segment was great. Rhea just came out, said what's next. Io came out, says, I get to choose my challenger. I want you at Evolution. Rhea said, all right. It got signed, and that was it. Went like 8 minutes, and it was perfect. So there you go. We had Dom meeting with AJ. This was the funniest thing on the entire show. Every now and then, they do like legitimate good comedy. So Dom is meeting with AJ, and he's got a doctor's note. He says, I can't wrestle. In fact, Adam Pearce says, if you lay a hand on me, you don't get your match for the Intercontinental title. He says, you want to read it? You want to take out your little glasses and read it? You know, because AJ is almost 50. And so AJ goes, oh, my little glasses, huh? And they have a stare down. And then he reaches into his pocket, and he pulls out this little tiny pair of glasses and puts them on. Everybody in the crowd is laughing. I was laughing, and he doesn't crack. Dominic doesn't crack. He just puts his glasses on so he can read the note, and turns out the note's correct. And he says, well, when I get a hold of you, when you're clear, you're going to need more than a note from your doctor. It was awesome. Yes?
Just Dom was fantastic. The heel that hides behind his little note, it reminded me of when Jericho used to stand behind Big Show and talk big as a heel. It's just the greatest heel tendency to hide behind your little self-righteous piece of paper. Dom was tremendous.
Then we had New Day and JD New Day versus JD and Finn Balor for the tag titles. And both teams are heel teams. And it's funny because like the New Day heel turn was like great, and then they did nothing with them. And even when they won the tag titles, they did nothing with them. And now Finn Balor and JD won the tag team titles clean in the middle of the ring in a match where they played total babyface. I mean, it was bizarre. Finn made a babyface comeback, babyface double teams, hit the moves, got the coup de grace, won the titles clean, celebrated. I mean, it was really good. Like, it was great, but it was weird.
It was weird that it was both heels, but the action was good, and they even got me on the finish because they had bumped Kofi on the floor right where Xavier's leg was sticking out on the cover, and I was so expecting Kofi to pull him out after the finish and keep going, but they got me on the finish, and the crowd seemed pretty happy about it.
Had a Bayley promo. Her and Lyra are having issues. And I think they're both supposed to be baby faces, but these two both come off as heelish, as we'll be getting to. Had a Goldberg video and footage of Penta injuring Chad. And then Pierce wishes Chad good luck, and Chad gives control of his crew to Ivy. Listen to Ivy, he tells the guys. So she's in charge. Balor and JD show up, and they talk the two GMs, Pierce and Aldis, into replacing Liv with Roxanne. So they're not going to strip Roxanne of the title. But the GMs say, we'll allow it, but they need to prove they deserve the titles. And so they must defend them against champions from all 3 brands. Yes, a 4-way at the Evolution show. And Finn said, fine, done deal.
Odd verbiage in that if they have to prove they're worthy to be champions, if they don't win at Evolution, are they not the champs?
Yeah, whoever beats them will be the champs.
Will they be? Then they'll never be recognized as champs?
I guess not. I mean, we don't know for sure, but that's what it sounded like to me. But I guess maybe, hey, you know what we should do is just check Wikipedia. That'll give us the answer.
Because with a stip like that, technically the titles are held up, and this is just a team vying for it. It's sort of odd verbiage.
Yeah. We had Sheamus and Rusev, which in the ring was like a pretty good match, and Sheamus was quite great in this match.
And very sweaty.
But golly, did nobody care one bit about Rusev. They did not care one bit about this guy. And, you know, during the heat, they didn't care. They only cared when Sheamus would fire up and make a big comeback, and he's a great babyface. And then Rusev runs him into an exposed buckle, hits the kick, and pins him. And I get it. We got to, like, do a feud or whatever. But, man, this Rusev thing is just, like, it comes off as dead in the water.
Well, has Rusev, because again, I haven't watched every
No,
show.
he's done nothing.
He's done nothing as a heel, though.
No. Just promos.
But even those aren't super heelish. And they promote the fact that these guys used to be in a faction together. It feels almost like friends fighting. Like, it didn't feel like there's any heel heat on Rusev or that even Sheamus has anything against the guy.
Funk Monk here says the crowd sucked. It was the awful crowd. I actually strongly disagree. And here's the thing. Everybody, like Dave does this too. He just talks about WWE crowds and AEW crowds in just generic terms. That's not how humans are, okay? If you watch this Raw show, the fans are into the wrestlers that they're into. And they're not into the wrestlers or the stories that they're not into. Because the opening match on this show, there's no way you can watch the Rhea segment. There's no way you can watch the New Day and JD and Finn Balor. Like, there's no way you can watch those things and say, this crowd sucks. It's a bad crowd. Crowd was on fire for those segments. The crowd doesn't care about Rusev. So they don't care about Rusev and Sheamus. Then the next match was, Gunther got heat. It wasn't a dead crowd for Gunther. And then the Bayley-Lyra match, it's like, what are we going to care about in this Bayley-Lyra match? It's a number 1 contenders match to face Becky. You'd have to be a complete idiot to not know what the finish is going to be. It's 2 alleged babyfaces who both have been acting heelish, just in there doing a babyface match exchanging holds. Like, you expect the crowd to magically be into this? They didn't care. They weren't into it.
There's been a lot of issues ever since they turned Cena heel when the fans wanted to cheer him. Becky is a heel that they want to cheer. These are the baby faces, but they're not as over as Becky is. Rusev isn't really a heel. The Judgment Day were in the babyface role, were kind of heels. I think there's a lot of, when you don't have personal issues, we're unsure of who we should like or dislike, the crowd is going to be more apt to be disinterested.
That's why the argument that there's no baby faces and heels, or you don't need baby faces and heels, or all of that, it's ridiculous. You do. Because if the fans don't care, you get a reaction like this. So, yeah, you can sit here and tell me the crowd sucked. Well, then the main event is Sammy and Penta against Braun and Bronson. Dude, this match had tons of heat. Because they're into all of these guys, and they all come across as big-time main eventers. So, anyway, we'll get back to that match in a minute, but there was an appearance of El Grande Americano.
Sort of.
It's like they didn't even... It's like he should have put his hand behind his back. I mean, it was so obviously Ludwig Kaiser. He's shredded. He stands up as tall as he possibly can, and he's got a long neck. And he's in the El Grande outfit. He's like twice the size of Chad Gable, height-wise. And everyone just looks at him when he walks off. And like, okay, well, I guess he's back. We had Gunther, as noted, cutting the promo on Goldberg. And then Punk's music hit, who also, by the way, got a massive reaction. You know, whatever you think about Punk's weekend in Saudi Arabia, and we could do an entire show on it. Fact is, he came back, and he's over like Rover. Is that the term? They went nuts for this guy. And Seth went running, and then he shoved down Gunther, and it looks like they're going to be doing something with Gunther and CM Punk, with Seth having that briefcase. Seems kind of obvious to me. We had the Judgment Day voting to officially add Roxanne to the team, which they reluctantly did. And then Roxanne, she says she's going to take out Kyrie. The Becky Lyra #1 contenders match, awful finish. They did the double pin.
At least there was no interference, dude.
It's like...
It could have been worse.
Bro, it's one of those things where you know it's going to be a draw or a double count out or a double DQ or something.
But what it is 99 times out of 100 in WWE is the heel runs in and interferes.
You're right. That is true.
And the heel looks like a complete
idiot.
Bumblehead.
Well, in this case, Michael Cole looked like a dunderhead because they do a double pin, which doesn't even look good at all. I mean, it's the worst double pin you've ever seen. And then Michael Cole is arguing about this match with Corey. And he's like, well, what do you want the ref to do? Restart it? And Corey goes, well, of course. And so then Michael Cole, this numbskull, goes, I guess Becky just doesn't have a challenger.
Yes, because he's never seen something like this before.
God.
At least there was no interference, and at least the heel didn't run in to cause the three-way.
And then the main event is Sammy and Penta against Braun and Bronson. Again, great heat for this match. Good match. No interference. Nobody ran in. Penta ends up snapping Bronson's neck on the ropes. Sammy hits Bronson with a vertical suplex, which got such a gigantic pop because he'd been teasing it the whole match. A vertical suplex. This place went wild. And then Braun flies in out of nowhere, spears Sami Zayn, and pins him clean. So earlier in the show, Sami had been attacked by Karrion Kross. So the story was that he was going in all beat up. But at the same time, Karrion keeps telling him, this good guy Sami ain't ever going to be a world champion. And every show, Sami fails as a babyface over and over. So there is a story going on here. And ended up with the heels beating him down, and then Jay ran down for the save.
Oddly enough, it is reminiscent of the great storyline Adrian Neville and Sammy did in NXT a decade ago.
How about that? Adrian Neville. There's a name I haven't heard in a while. Golly.
Can Sammy win the big one and stay good? I hope so.
We'll find it. He needs to bring that hat back. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Jared, put old Granny on. Let's see what she's up to. Oh, man, she's doing something. Oh, Lord.
She's trying to plug in the box, Brian.
Granny can't connect. And so I call her on the phone, and she alerts us that she apparently knocked the box off her desk. Whatever's happening right there, that doesn't look good. She knocked down the camera now? What's going on?
She's got a hold of the camera, I think.
She's okay. Well, we've got the ceiling at least. There's the box. Hey, we got the box, Jared. Does it look like it's plugged in?
No.
It's definitely not on.
No.
Okay. That's her back, I believe. She appears to be doing something.
Apparently yoga.
That's her hair. Are we sure that's not Ric Flair? Now she's got to find the phone, too.
Think anyone's going to still subscribe after the show?
I hope we get a bunch of video signups. This is interesting.
Is it now?
Oh, man, we can almost see the front of the tie line to see if it's on. But we can't. We can only see the side of it, as well as a flashlight and dice. I don't know why there are dice there.
Well, you never know when you're going to play dice in the dark.
She's still doing something.
That's good radio, boss.
Show that again, what's she doing?
You know what's a good show is the Big VV show.
Is it?
Or if you Pod Armenia 2025.
She might be tying her shoe or something.
Ed and San Antonio show.
Granny is furiously doing something. It's possible that we should sabotage the box every week.
No!
So that she can, get up and down, like Roddy Piper once said. No, I know. I'm calling you. Phone. I'm calling you. Oh, my God. How are you?
I'm exhausted. Oh, I want to tell Vinny I watched his show today.
Thank you, Granny. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
Good. That sounded very sincere.
Stunning review. Well,
Anyway.
can we please make that into a commercial, Jared, for Vinny's show? Apple Podcast carries every podcast that we produce.
Oh, I want to tell Vinny I watched his show today.
Thank you, Granny. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
Good.
So check it out, f4wonline.com/Apple. Try your free trial today. What is happening here? Yes, Granny?
I don't care if it's show or what. My computer went out and I can't fix it.
Okay. Jared, can you fix Granny's computer?
But he tried to get a pin.
I am Steve.
Brian, what are you doing?
Now my child is sending me a voice message.
Steel chicken jockey.
Well, we made it, Lance. We made it through this show.
You survived.
I did survive. I'm going to survive my way to the Bryan and Vinny show tonight as we review Mid-South Wrestling, which has become just bizarre of late, for being honest. So, yeah. Let's see if I can find the episode that we're watching this week. Sad that Aubrey isn't going to be there. She did a good job last time.
She did a great job, and she has a great voice, too. I thought she was awesome on the show.
Yeah, everyone's like, you need to get her there regularly. It's like, they're just going to come up here and drive up here and do this goofy show with us for free?
The woman has a job.
Yeah, what are we? She has
and
to
she
be...
farms oysters.
Exactly. Anyway, I can't find it. I think it's season 6, episode 31, if I recall. If you go to the archives, find last week's show and add one. But anyway, that's going to be tonight. And then tomorrow it'll be Filthy and I here on the show. And then Thursday you're back, right? Tuesday, Thursday
Yes.
this week?
Yep.
Yeah. And tomorrow on After Dark Radio, we have no guest tomorrow. So tomorrow I will be doing my travelogue, heading to see George Norrie, the host of Coast to Coast AM, for his live show at the Everett Historic Theater, which was just an incredible experience. I could not believe what I saw. So anyway, that'll be tomorrow. And that's it. Thanks, Lance, as always. Callers and listeners up in the studio. We'll talk to you next time. Wrestling Observer Live.